Okay, so this week's lesson's on culture. So I was sitting back at the lesson plan and I was thinking I could type this all up, and then I realized there's no better way to understand my culture than through a video and seeing me doing this, right? So my name's Jose, and I know you're probably thinking, well, you are the whitest guy I've ever seen named Jose before. Well, and that's because of my culture. My family's all from Cuba, or as we would say, es en Cuba, right? We're from Cuba. And on Cuba, and in Cuba, there are all different cultures of people. We have blonde-haired, blue-eyed Cubans, just like my dad, originally from Spain. We have the black or Afro-Cubans. We have red-headed Irish folks who came there and settled on the island. And then my dad's cousin, his name's Antonio. He's Chinese. I mean, he looks like Mr. Miyagi, right? But he can't speak anything but Spanish. Well, technically Cuban, because if you've ever spoken Spanish and then spoken to a Cuban, it's a whole different language, okay? Couple of things go on with being Cuban that are really different cultural norms than other countries or other places. One, we're loud. We're some of the loudest people you'll ever meet, okay? And when you go and talk to a Cuban, you hear this all the time. I hear it all the time. Jose, why are you yelling? I'm not yelling, I'm Cuban. Okay, it's what we do. Claro que sí, it's what we do, okay? The other thing is, if you haven't figured it out, we talk with our hands. I don't know why this happens all the time, but we talk with our hands. It's really causing me trouble in my public speaking class because my instructor keeps saying, if your hands are not related, if your hand gestures are not related to your topic, don't use them. If I didn't use my hands, I couldn't talk. I mean, for crying out loud, that's what we do. So those are some cultural things that go on with being Cuban. Another thing that's really different than a lot of other cultures is we're very social people, which means if you invite us over for a party, you better buckle up because it's going to be a long night because we just don't leave. For example, when my wife and I got married, I'm the only member of the church from my side of the family, and her side of the family is a long line of members. So we have the typical Mormon wedding, at a chapel. We have a receiving line. We have food. Guests on my wife's side of the family did what you do at a Mormon wedding. You come in, you eat, you drop off a present, you pay your loves to the couple, and then you leave. That was fine. The Cubans? Nah. They came, they ate, they said hello. Then they all went to a different corner to talk. Then the music came on and they all danced. Then they all had to leave to go outside, and then they all had to come back in. So at 12:30, we're trying to kick them out of the building because church is getting ready to clean up, or needs to clean up, because there's sacrament meetings the next morning. And the Cubans wouldn't leave. It was like a big party. That's who we are. Also, we're very social. We're huggers. You should have seen the look on my wife's mother's face when my dad came over to meet her for the first time. And as she reached out her hands to shake his hand, he grabbed her, hugged her, and kissed her on both sides of the face. I thought she was going to lose her friggin' mind. She invaded my personal space, which is part of my culture as well. Okay? It's not unnormal for a Cuban man to be talking to another Cuban man with like 5 inches of distance between their face, yelling and screaming the whole time. It's not unusual for them to put their arm around him and talk to him like this to their face. You think they're going to get in a fight, but then they're hugging and kissing afterwards, right? It's just part of the cultural differences, which, being a convert to the church, that was interesting to see the differences. But it's been an amazing blessing, right? I wouldn't trade it for the world. People come over to eat, and they better be prepared because there's going to be enough food that they're going to hurt when they leave, and they're taking something home with them, right? It's just part of our culture. It's a different perspective on life that I love. And it's funny because my children, they're third generation now. I was... my father and mother, I guess, second generation. My father and mother came here. So I'm firstborn generation in the States. My kids are then second-born. And we're kind of removed because a lot of the family isn't here anymore. A lot of them have passed away. But they've still got all the traits. For example, we took my daughter in to have her ears checked because she spoke so loud. And the ear doctor looked at us and said, well, I have good news and bad news. Well, okay, I'll bite. What's the good news? The good news is your daughter's hearing is fine. Okay, why is she so loud? Well, that's the bad news. She's Cuban. Just saying it. No, not making this one up. I couldn't write this one up. Real story. So that goes a little bit along our culture's line. So again, just to recap, we're loud. We talk extremely fast. We talk with these hands moving, flailing all the time. And we're very hugging, social, loving people, which catches some people off guard if they're not expecting that. But I love it. Wouldn't change it anyway. So thanks for humoring me with this video. I thought it would be better for you to see some of these cultural changes than me to try to write a paper about it. So I hope everybody's having a great week, and I look forward to seeing everybody's posts on culture and your thoughts and opinions. Thanks.